Artists, today we are going to be assembling your color monster. So the first step is you need to carefully cut out each piece and part to your monster, going really slowly so you don't actually accidentally cut something important off on that pencil line that you traced last time. I need to cut out each leg, each arm, eyebrows, teeth, eyes, mouth, and body. Sometimes when I'm cutting with tag board or cardboard, it can be really hard to get into little spaces. So what I'll do is I'll do a bubble cut around the whole object, and then I can come in and cut in between each little finger or each little toe. So if you are having a hard time cutting because your scissors doesn't move very well on the tag board, do a bubble cut first and then cut out each individual shape. That can make it a little bit easier when cutting with thick tag. All right, when every piece has been cut out, you're ready to start assembling. All of these little scraps from cutting, they all need to be collected and thrown in the trash. No maids and no moms to throw those away from you, so that's a student responsibility. Now, when you're cutting, your scissors need to go really slow so that you have good craftsmanship. This monster and how he looks is going to be really important to the success of your video. So make sure you do a really good job cutting around each shape. So I'm kind of laying things out, thinking about how I want my pieces and parts to go. Obviously, the eyebrows are at top, the arms are in the middle, the legs are at the bottom. I'm going to use a hole puncher to hole punch a hole through each of these parts and attach them with a brass brad. This is so that my monster's little individual details can move separately when I do my video, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is the eyebrow. Looking at how I have the eyebrows laid out, I want them to be able to move, so there's got to be some space in the middle. I'm going to put a little dot right here where I plan for my eyebrows to get hole punched. So lining up my hole puncher with the dot and squeezing. Now, hole punchers can be a big mess if they're not used properly. So when you are using your hole puncher, you're only punching the holes that you need, not anything extra. Would I hole punch the extra scraps? Nope. Would I hole punch my messy mat? Nope. Not today. Only the spots that I'm planning on my monster. So I put my eyebrow where I think it belongs, leaving some space in the middle and trying to get them kind of even so I don't have one eyebrow way down here and one eyebrow up high. With my marks, I'm going to punch a hole on either side. Now notice the mouth of my hole puncher is pretty shallow, so I can't get all the way into the middle. I can only stay towards the edge. Now the brass brads, you're going to get a few of these from the drive-thru. You need to line up the holes, put the straight part through the hole, and on the back side you need to spread out the leg of the brad. So one goes to the right and one goes to the left, or one goes up and one goes down, so that it will keep your eyebrow in place. And your eyebrow can move now. All right, I'm going to do that to the other eyebrow and then move on to the legs and the arms. Our eyes are going to get glued in place, so I don't need to worry so much about where my eyes are going to go quite yet. All right, keeping my arm towards the edge, planning out where my hole punch is going to go. Hole punch on each dot, keeping it close to the edge as I can, but making sure I have a nice solid hole to make an attachment for my brass brad. Now, when I go to do the legs are actually going to be stacked together. They're not going to be separate like the arms. So the legs are going to be just a little bit different. So make sure you're paying attention to how I attach these legs and how that's going to be a little bit different from the arms. Here's my last arm. And finally the legs. So the legs I'm going to put together, and I'm going to make a little dot, And I'm going to punch them individually because it would be really hard to hole punch through all of these pieces of tag board. That tag board is pretty thick. To make sure that they're in the exact same spot, I can put one leg on top of each other and stack them like this. And then line up the hole puncher and punch again. And if it's still too hard, oh, it's too hard for me, I might use my pencil and still do a little guide dot. And then hole punch that. That tag board is really thick. Okay, so my legs are gonna go towards the middle, a little guide hole, a hole punch, and that's where those are gonna all get stacked up together with one last brass brad. All right, before I glue on the eyes, mouth, and teeth, I need to write my name, Mrs. C, and my class code so I know which monster is mine. All right, last but not least, eyes and teeth. Now with the eyes and the teeth, we are going to be using some glue. So I have these pieces and parts on. I can kind of plan out where these eyes are gonna go. If they overlap a little bit, that's okay. I just don't want them to be over top of the arm because then the arm won't be able to move freely. So kind of keep the eyes towards the middle. A few dots of glue by twisting the orange cap, picking off any glue boogers so that my glue is gonna come out. I can get it breathing. Turn it upside down, shake, shake, shake. Just like maple syrup, it's gonna come out a little bit slow to start. 3 small dots of glue, no bigger than my pinky finger. I am trying to use my very best craftsmanship because I know how important this monster is. And count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I see a little bit of glue that's smudged out and it's touching that eyebrow. So I need to move that eyebrow and get that glue with my finger so that next time when I come back, my eyebrow is still able to move. If I get a little glue on my fingers, I just rub them together and it will come right off. All right, next eye, 3 dots of glue, counting to 10, making sure nothing like my eyebrow is stuck to the paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last step is my mouth. So if I'm having a sad face, I might turn my mouth upside down. If I'm happy, I could turn it right side up. I could make it kind of a wiggly mouth. Maybe he's doing kind of like a side smile. That is up to you. I think I'm gonna go with a side smile on this one. A few dots of glue. No bigger than my pinky finger. Making sure nothing is getting glued down that needs to move next week and count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And last but not least, the teeth. A dot of glue on each tooth. If you would just want to have one tooth, you could do that too. That looks kind of cute. Just to have one tooth or maybe one's up here. That's an artist's choice, how to put those teeth on, how to put that mouth on. Just make sure that nothing like an arm or a leg accidentally gets glued down. All right, my monster has been assembled. However, that glue is still wet, so it needs to go flat on my messy mat, over to the drive-thru. Make sure my name is on it with my class code.